Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? This is a good type of video to do while drinking a soda or what have you. I got Diet A&W root beer made with aged vanilla. This stuff is fantastic, 10 out of 10. I'm here to review a movie I saw on a channel called Fat Fox. But I mean, it's spelled P-H-U-C-K, you know what I mean? And this was a channel that I saw like Troll 3 on and a couple other things. I was really impressed. They had, and I saw that weird one about those bug-eyed monsters from the 80s. I can't even remember what the hell it was called. Attack of the Beastie Creatures or something like that. And I thought it was a cool channel with a bunch of really unusual films on. And all of a sudden, it took all the films off and it kept like, he did like stuff with Madonna and TSOL and Berlin. I'm surprised they kept that stuff on and took the movies off, and now he's back doing some movies. And he put a documentary up called Schlock. Schlock: The Secret of American Movies, is what it's called. Now, Schlock is not to be confused with John Landis' killer guerrilla movie that he did back in '71. Schlock is referring to like exploitation films and stuff. It starts off a scene from Hollywood and Vine. They said they're doing a musical to some show. It ended up being a classic, or not so classic, 30s film, Reefer Madness. I always want to see the Reefer Madness musical. They said they were going to have on Cinemax or something. I never saw it, or whatever. You know, I did see the movie Reefer Madness, which was great, and it released a whole bunch of other movies. But this movie mentioned Reefer Madness, but these movies focus on like exploitation from the 50s on up. And when 40s and 50s, when they start up, they start with showing stuff of World War II, which doesn't, I mean, the time period's there, but I mean, the events of World War II had nothing to do with the exploitation film. It really didn't. I mean, with the horror films, like the Universal horror films, I think those helped with the cultural events and stuff. I can't remember how, though. I mean, but, you know, some of those do reflect political times and stuff. But I don't think it affected the exploitation. Those are just movies they made to exploit a certain subject matter that other studios weren't touching. And they start off with, like American International Studios. So my dad said, all American International movies are stupid. And they have interviews with Roger Corman and Samuel Arkoff. Really interesting. They talked to also David Friedman. Now, usually, because usually they always talk to Hirsch Gordon Lewis. They talked to David Friedman on this one, and there was one other one. They never talked to them together. And they made a series of movies with Hirsch Gordon Lewis, and they talk about the Nudie Cutie verbatim. I mean, and then they talk about Blood Feast, but when they showed Blood Feast, they showed very little bloodshed from the clips. That the guy didn't show them in the movie. It kind of surprised me. I didn't spill my pop. Almost did. Haha. Which kind of surprised me, you know. And then they had Harry Novak was on there. I've only seen some of his movies. I mean, some of these movies are incredibly tough to find. They really are. I mean, you know, Something Weird Video does a good job, but I mean, there's a whole bunch. I don't know if they're ever fond of The Lost Forever. And they have like, they exploited stuff. They had like they were going like traveling road shows, go to like a certain town and show this movie, like, ooh, then they pack up and leave, show like stuff like Birth of a Baby, in a C-section, I guess. And that people wanted to see, and they got people in. They showed VD movies and stuff. And then when they did the VD stuff and the baby stuff, I made a sandwich. I kind of was watching, but I didn't really look in case they showed something I was trying to eat. You know. They talk about, the baby being born, you know, that's just for a movie, you know. But I mean, that's exploitation because it's never been shown before. People want to see it, and they say guys were passing out and stuff. It was a black and white film. I remember I saw something called Night of the Bloody Transplant. I wonder what studio company made that. And that's the one I should have looked up. Cause I remember before I went to Germany, I mean, not Germany, the Army, I was renting movies at this one place, and Dad will rent some movies. I think he rented Night of the Bloody Transplant. He didn't watch it, though. The same company was, and they did Asylum of Satan, too. I mean, a very low-budget company. And basically, it talks about this doctor. It basically revolves around eventually seeing open-heart surgery. I want to see what's the name of the film company. Because they don't mention film company. Wait a second. Yeah, only got 3.4 IMDb. Let's see. I can't remember the name of the horror. I can't remember the name of the Night Blade. Yeah, I remember Night Blade said not for squeamish, but I mean it wasn't that. It just had heart surgery in it. Boy, it said. Boy, I didn't give any information on that. Oh, wait a second. Nope. I can't remember. There was a company, something that did that, but they weren't mentioned there. They were talking. I mean, they talked to Doris Wishman, who was interviewed on Conan O'Brien, and I know Roger Ebert was on there. They didn't talk about all their movies. They only talked about a handful, and Roger Ebert was on there. And he said like she did the 2 Chesty Morgan movies that were Deadly Weapons. Well, a girl that's very well endowed. Deadly Weapon was like kind of like a mob movie. The girl would kill guys with her boobs. And then Secret Agent 73, which I didn't see, and she had cameras in her boobs and she was taking photos like that. It's really weird. And then Roger Ebert said, "We all know why the guy. I saw you 2 Chesty Morgan movies, and I mean, you know, he kind of put on the spot. He said, why did you have so many scenes with their clothes on like that?" I don't know. They talk about Russ Meyer too. With the whole thing of gore, they talk about Night of the Living Dead, which I don't consider a gore film. There's 2 scenes that are gruesome, but I mean, Blood Feast was a gore film, and but they didn't talk about. Well, this was made in 2000. David Friedman and Herschel Gordon Lewis actually teamed up again for Shriek Show to make Blood Feast 2: All You Can Eat, which is actually a sequel, a big budgeted sequel. John Waters was in that one, and that was pretty good too. But I mean, the movie's really entertaining. But they talk about World War II and Vietnam. They don't have anything to do with the exploitation genre. If they want to set up the time frame when these happen, that's fine. But I mean, to do with the genre. It's really a fascinating movie. I really liked it. Dick Miller was on there. Roger Corman was on there. Like I said, they talked to American International, and they went on till 1980. Where they actually did some bigger budget movies. They did Amityville Horror, and they did Meteor, which I was a big fan of, the disaster film. I think that might have been their last movie. That movie failed big time. Let's see if they have the budget for that. Now remember, this American International, where if they have like a budget of $1 million, it's like, or like 500,000. It's like, yeah, right here, 1979. Sean Connery and Natalie Wood. I'm going to give it 5. I thought it was really good, though. It was 79. Maybe they were on those 79 to 80. I don't remember. Oh, they have the review of that? Cool. Let me see. What was the budget for that? You know. I know I'm all over the place with this video. Oh, okay. The budget was $16 million. This is American International. $16 million American International. That's like a King's Ransom. And then the opening weekend made not even $2.5 million. Then gross USA 8,400,000. But it came and went really quick. It played for like a weekend and was gone. But I mean, they don't mention that. They didn't say they did movies till about 1980. I love the movie. I mean, I love Schlock. I can't remember, Secret of Cinema or something like that. I liked it real well. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's very informative. Dick Miller was in there too, talking about his movie. They talked about The Terror, which is a very bizarre formation of a movie. You know what I mean? They go into detail about that. Dick Miller talked about Bucket of Blood too. Very entertaining stuff. I'm just surprised they didn't show more of the carnage with Blood Feast. But, oh well. So I hope you, and they talk about the roughy, what they call the roughies, which was more, they had like the nudity cues, and roughies were like more brutality based movies. Now I'm surprised David Freeman didn't talk about Ilsa She-Wolf SS, which he helped make, but he wanted his name taken off the movie. And that was very notorious. Now Sean sets of Hogan's Heroes, and they destroyed Hogan's Heroes, you know. But I like the movie. I think it's a lot of fun. So it's on that one channel I mentioned. So until next time, bye, please. Take care, my leader. Okay.